You know that feeling, right? That little jolt of panic when you type in your password, hit enter, and access denied. Suddenly your whole digital life, your photos, your emails, everything is on the other side of a locked door, and you don't have the key. It's awful, it's scary, but listen, it's not hopeless. Today, we're going to break down the exact strategy you need to win at Google Account Recovery.
So you're locked out. Okay, before you do anything else, the first thing you have to understand is that getting back in isn't about pleading your case to a person. It's about proving who you are to an algorithm. And that algorithm, well, it plays by a very specific set of rules.
All right, here's our game plan. First, we're going to get to know the system itself, this automated fortress that's guarding your account. Then, we'll get into the secret sauce, how it decides you're you, using something we'll call a trust score. After that, it's all action. We'll go through a recovery playbook, figure out how to handle those scary security alerts, and finally, we'll build a defense so strong you'll hopefully never have to do this again.
First up, let's talk about the fortress. Because if you want to win, you've got to know the rules of the game you're playing. And rule number one, it's the most important one of all.
That's right. The entire system is 100% automated. There are no customer service agents you can call to talk you through this. It's a machine, a fortress made of code, and its main job is to keep everyone out, especially hackers. Your job is to prove to its automated gatekeeper that you have the right keys.
And look, don't just take my word for it. This quote is directly from Google. It's not just that they won't help you on the phone. For security reasons, they literally can't. And this is huge. It means any service out there that claims they can get your account back for a fee, it's a scam. Plain and simple. The only way in is through the official automated process.
Okay, so if an algorithm is the judge, jury, and executioner here, how do we convince it? Well, this brings us to the core idea of this whole explainer, something I call the trust score. Now, trust score isn't an official Google term, but it is the perfect way to picture what's happening behind the scenes. Every single piece of information you give during recovery adds points to the score. Your only goal is to give enough proof to push that score over the algorithm's invisible line. So, how do you do that?
It all comes down to three key pillars of proof. I call it the trust triangle. First, there's context. Where and how are you trying to log in? Second is history. What do you know about this account's past? And third is redundancy. What safety nets did you set up before this all went wrong? Let's break that down.
This is how you put those pillars into practice. For context, using a familiar device, like your own laptop, from a familiar location, like your home Wi-Fi, is a massive trust signal. It's like your digital fingerprint. For history, knowing a recent password, even if it's not the current one, proves you're not just some random person guessing. And this is critical. Answer every question. A best guess is infinitely better than leaving it blank.
Okay, theory's done. Now let's get practical. Let's walk through a concrete playbook for the most common ways you can get locked out.
So you forgot your password. This is your game plan. Head to g.co/recover. When it asks for the last password you remember, give it your absolute best shot. Like we said, an old correct password is a huge point for your history pillar. Then you'll use a code sent to one of your redundancy options, your phone or other email. See how it all connects? And seriously, wrong guesses don't count against you, so never ever leave a question blank. But what if you forgot the email address itself? It's a similar idea, but with a really clever security check. You have to give them both a piece of contact info, like your phone number, and the full name on the account. Requiring both stops someone from just typing in random phone numbers to try and discover people's private emails. It's smart.
And a quick but super important tip for anybody using two-step verification. If your main method, like a prompt on your phone, just isn't working, don't give up. Always, always look for that little link that says, "Try another way." That's your escape hatch. That's how you get to your other options, like those super important backup codes. Next up, let's talk about something that trips up a lot of people: time. In these high-stakes situations, Google actually builds in mandatory delays. And I know it's frustrating, but they're not bugs. They are security features, and they're there to protect you. You can think of time as another layer of defense. So if a hacker gets in and tries to change your recovery phone number, there's a 7-day security hold where codes still go to your old number. That gives you time to react. And if you fail the recovery process too many times, the system makes you wait 168 hours, a full week, before you can try again. Trying any sooner just resets the clock, so patience is literally part of the strategy.
So far, we've been talking all about how to win the recovery game. But you know what the best strategy of all is?
building your account security so strong that you never have to play the game in the first place.
One of the biggest things you can do is upgrade your two-step verification. Look, getting codes by SMS text is way better than nothing, but it's vulnerable to something called SIM swapping. A much more secure way is using Google Prompts. Those are the push notifications you get on your phone. And the gold standard? A physical security key. It is, without a doubt, the most secure way to lock down your account.
And that brings us to your ultimate failsafe, your ace in the hole. When you turn on two-step verification, Google gives you a list of 10 single-use 8-digit backup codes. These are your emergency keys. If you lose your phone, if you lose your security key, these codes will still get you back in.
So here it is, your checklist for a bulletproof account. Have both a recovery phone number and a recovery email. Turn on two-step verification, preferably using prompts or a security key. And please, please, print out those 10 backup codes. Store them somewhere physically safe and offline. Treat them like you would your passport, for real. And finally, get in the habit of running Google's security checkup every so often, just to make sure everything's still in good shape.
And that really brings us to the final question. You wouldn't leave the front door of your house unlocked, right? Your Google account is the front door to your entire digital life. So take 5 minutes. That's all it takes. Go through that checklist, print those backup codes, and make sure your door isn't just closed, it's truly properly locked.